Fuck. Spilled it. Never invite me on the White Guys podcast because I would just spill everything and then some. I think I'd be a terrible guest on that podcast. Code Geass Roze of the Recapture. I think that's what it's called. Okay. That is going to be the topic of today's Wednesday Rants. I know I haven't done one in God knows how long. Inserts funny sound effect while I display the time of the Wednesday Rants on screen for all of you to enjoy. This is going to be the topic. Holy shit, I have so much to say about this. Like, honest to God. Alright. I think it's first to preface my experience with this series before I get into any specific. I am an absolute D1 glazer. Like, if there was a possible ranking of who can glaze Code Geass the hardest, I would probably place somewhere in the top 10. Like, if you get me talking about Code Geass, I will not shut up about it. And we're gonna see how long that can go for Code Geass Roze the Recapture. Why the fuck did they name it that? It goes Code Geass Lelouch the Rebellion because he's rebelling. It goes Lelouch R2 because, you know, it's Lelouch Season 2. I forget the other one. I think it's Akito the Exiled. I guess that guy's just exiled. And then it goes Roze the Recapture. I'm getting ahead of myself, but it has nothing to do with really recapturing anything. Like, I don't fucking know. But regardless, it certainly didn't recapture my interest in the series, I'll tell you that, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Needless to say, I am just the absolute top-tier glazer of Code Geass. Like, if Lelouch existed in real life and asked me to, like, drop to a knee and just start kissing his feet, I probably would. I probably would. That series was just that good. It was peak. If you ask me, it is the best anime of all time ever created. The story, everything, the animation was fine. The art style was fine. I know some people have their misconceptions about that, but let's be honest, like, you're just mad you're not 6 foot, okay? Like, you're just mad you're not 6 foot. Simple as. But literally everything about the story and whatnot is just certified peak. Oh my gosh, and the score, like the opening, Jibu, whoa, Sekai Isai, like, holy shit. Colors goes crazy. Regardless, Code Geass is legit just the perfect anime of all time, and you cannot convince me otherwise, okay? It just is, just cope with the facts. Like, it's not Full Metal Alchemist, it's not Free Run, it's Code Geass. Part of that, good time to put a massive spoiler warning for anything Code Geass related. If you have not watched Code Geass, click off the video or watch it after I'm done this rant. It honestly deserves it. If anything deserves a watch, it's Code Geass. Like, form your opinions after. You know, you might think I'm wrong, but however, it is just the objective fact it's the best anime of all time. With that out of the way. The reason why Code Geass and whatnot works so well, in my humble opinion, is the connection between the characters and the underlying philosophical tone of the entire plot. Sorry for that, I just thought that this camera angle was better, and I think it is. I hope so. Anyway, we know the underlying themes of Code Geass from the very beginning. I think it's pretty obvious. The underlying theme of Code Geass is whether the ends justify the means, and so forth. You see this with Lelouch, which says, yes, the ends justify the means. It doesn't matter how many civilians I kill, how many girlfriends, parents I slaughter. The ends always justify the means, and in this case, his end is the destruction of Britannia. And we see this with contrast with Suzaku, who argues the ends do not justify the means. You gotta rework it from the inside, and you gotta be one in order to change it, and we gotta do this peacefully. However, let's be real here. Lelouch is right, the ends justify the means, because what did Suzaku do? Honestly, what did he do other than, catch a girl falling out of the building in the middle of battle? Truly, what did he do? Euphemia is, the only one that's on his side and actually does stuff, and he's just her cheerleader. He did jack shit. Euphemia is probably a better counter to Lelouch than Suzaku. But regardless, that is the underlying theme of Code Geass, at least Code Geass Season 1. Season 2, you can maybe argue it's a different story because you have that entire philosophical debate with Charles v. Britannia and Lelouch inside of C's world, but that's something completely different, and I'm mainly just going to talk about Season 1 for the simplicity of it. Or at least the themes of Season 1 for the simplicity of it. But you can clearly see the themes, and this plays a lot into the story. It shows the motivations, it pushes Lelouch to the absolute limits when he does kill, I think it's Shirley's dad, by accident in a landslide attack. And it completely challenges him mentally, and, it's really good. It pushes his philosophy to the extreme. And what I'm saying is that, Season 1 and, Code Geass Lelouch the Rebellion is as deep as the ocean when it comes to, underlying shit that goes on. And it's built upon the fact that its characters are also pretty good. Lelouch, easily the best character. Cece, or C2, easily the best girl of the show, fight me on it. Shirley, her entire thing, where something's in my fucking eye, where her entire thing is just being an innocent bystander, wanting to love Lelouch and, seeing how far she's willing to go in order to love Lelouch. They have deep stuff. Einstein, Table, yeah, all the characters actually have depth, and it's very enjoyable to watch, Charles E. Britannia. God, I love Charles E. Britannia, because he's easily, the best villain, not the best villain in all of anime, but one of the top villains in anime of all time. His entire thing about how we should be unequal and that racism should persist, because it allows us to strive forward. Conflict is what burns humanity's engine. I'm not saying he's right, or I'm not justifying his actions, but I'm just saying, it's believable to a certain point, and it's also very fun to see him try to play that shit out, and as an antithesis to equality and whatnot. Whatever. I'm probably not doing it justice enough. You're gonna have to watch the anime, like I said. But, seeing his motivations and whatnot, and it's just oh, it's so good. Suzaku being useless is not exactly a main good thing about the show, but you know what? It's there. To all, 5 Suzaku fans out there. He's a decent character. His struggles with killing his dad is actually pretty compelling, and the weight of the Japanese people on him is, I think, done pretty well. His actions, though, could be a little used. He's mostly just words, not action kind of guy. But either way, this goes to show, this is all to say, it's deep, okay? You can go swimming in the deepness of Lelouch the Rebellion. Code Geass Roze the Recapture. What do I do with, or what do I rather think about Roze the Recapture, because I'm the YouTuber here. I saw comments under the final episodes of Code Geass Roze the Recapture, and I think it encapsulates the entire show. It's about as deep as a puddle. There's not much to explore here. What is the underlying theme of Geass Roze the Recapture? Let's start with that. Let me think. By the way, it was just like 2 hours ago that I watched this. Geass Roze the Recapture's theme is... I don't fucking know. I'll be honest. I might just be stupid here, and that's completely valid. But I have absolutely zero idea what the what the theme of the show is. Like, I'm honestly trying to think here, and which is the main characters? Nothing. I think they try to be deep at the end, but they just completely fail. Like in Lelouch, Code Geass Rebellion, you would have like CC or C2 diving deep into the nature of like humans and like talking to Lelouch about that and the philosophical nature about that. The entire scene where Lelouch goes up against Charles, he's constantly challenging Charles and his philosophy and having like a debate on how humans should live. Like in season 2, there's like an entire debate like, is the future better, is the past better, or is the present the best? Like, I might have just said that completely wrong, but that's what I gathered from it. And like, that's deep. In Geass Roze the Recapture, the ending philosophical argument against the villain and whatnots between Rose, I honestly forget her real name, and Charles's clone, I forget his name too. I think it's Lemgoons or something. Let me look at Norland. There we go. Norland and Sumigiri. Yeah. Anyway, between Norland and Sumigiri, actually, I don't think that's it. Yeah, it is Sumigiri. Me, Britannia, whatever. Their entire, like, philosophical argument at the end of everything as Norland is sending out these Loki bots to just wipe out humanity. So, Mr. Norland, why are you killing everyone? I don't fucking know. Is it because you're a nihilist? No. Is it because you hate people? No. Is it because you like nature? No. I'm not joking, by the way. This is the entire philosophical debate. Like, in C2, between C2 and Lelouch, they have entire philosophical debates. Like, C2 goes like, what's the nature of humanity? What is the point to be alive? And it's like, Lelouch would respond like, to struggle, to, strive, to overcome and achieve greatness in their lifetime or something like that. And C2 goes like, is there a God? Like, does God exist? If God does exist, is he good? And Lelouch would be like, I don't fucking know. And then C2 would be like, what's my life's purpose? And Lelouch would just go back like, I have no idea, but I'll give you a purpose. And like, that shit is like deep. And I'm not saying those debates actually do happen, but it's just an example. Those types of debates happen. And meanwhile, between Sumigiri, Me, Britannia, and Norland, it's just like, why do you hate humanity? I don't know. I just do. Loki bot. OP robot, go. And this is another thing that, like, kind of drives me up a wall. I hate mechas. Well, hate's a strong word. I don't like mechas. I find that they take the personal aspect of, like, an anime and just rip it out. Just toss that aside. And I don't like that. It legit just replaces people with soulless robots. And I'm not that type of guy. I understand if you like mecha. You know what? Giant robots, sure. Fine, they're cool. But Geass Roze of the Recapture is legit just a mecha fight showdown battle royale type thing. Like, I swear to God, there is barely a time where they're just like outside of their robots, like talking or chatting or doing anything really meaningful outside of like this slice of life aspect that just gets tossed in there for a little bit for some reason. It's mostly just mecha fights. You know what? The animation's good, animation's enjoyable, but it's just mostly mecha fights, and I don't come to Code Geass for mecha fights. I come for the personal struggle between people, not the personal struggle between a robot's gun and their shield. This also goes to a point where, like, Lelouch and a bunch of people, like Lelouch, Nina Einstein, Suzaku, like, not only they're all in there, but they don't do anything. You get, like, Colin was in there. Colin maybe got 3 frames, and they tried to replace Colin with this other bitch. Who was it? It's not Yuri. It's not Yoko. It's not Shota. It's not Tomi. It's not that guy. Haruka. Haruka is literally Colin, but has no depth. Like, like I was talking about the depths of, like, characters beforehand. By the way, they're so forgettable. The 7 shining stars are all forgettable. They just, there's literally a guy named in there that is named Oda, and he is nothing like the Oda from the Black Knights. Let me just double check that I'm getting that name. Sorry, his name was Ogi, but he wasn't Ogi, but anyway. That annoying guy that's in the Black Knights, literally just a replacement for him. Like, the seven shining stars or whatnot is legit just the Black Knights, but not cool. They're not. They're literally just, they have replacements for all the characters inside of the Shining 7 Stars that were in the Black Knights. Like, they have the cool Japanese Liberation Front leader. They have, Colin, but all the death taken out of Colin, and they're just basically someone who pilots the Ace thing. And it's not even like the Gurren Mark II where it's cool. It has brass knuckles, I think, and a spear. And that's about it. Like, they're just a lamer Black Knights. Honestly. They don't even, like, have any meaning or depth to them at all. It just pisses me off. Because they try to make, Haruka a Colin V2. She's not. You're not Colin, bro. You suck. Whatever. Anyway. But yeah. Like I said, there's no plot to it. Like, the plot is just... You know what? The plot is, like, going after Sumigiri's body double and trying to save her, for some reason. Like, the body double did their job. Like, they did their job, they saved you, you're not supposed to save them, like... I'm sorry, I'm getting all over the place. Let me just talk about the overarching story. So the overarching story of Code Geass Roze of the Recapture is that Sumigiri brainwashed her bodyguard to protect her, which is stupid, and well, not brainwashed. She has the Geass. She has the Geass of obedience, which is Lelouch's Geass. I'll get into that in a second. Basically, Sumigiri tries and goes to save her body double. And that's basically the entire plot. There's no deeper thing about it. Like, they're not even trying to overthrow the Neo-Britannian Empire. That's kind of like a side plot. Basically, they just try to save their body double. Anyway, and it's still this until, like, by the way, they don't give any motivation as why Sakaya wants it. We know that, like, all the context we get about how deep their friendship is with their body double is that their body double once found her under a tree. I'm not even joking, that's literally it. They just found them under a tree. And that's as deep as it gets. There's nothing else to it. She would rather leave Kuruto, the leader of the Seven Shining Stars, leave him in Abarashi, and I'm not even joking, concentration camp. Yes, they named it the Abarashi concentration camp. I don't know if this is going to get flagged or something, but I'm just saying that's what they called it. I'm not making that up, you can watch the show. Anyway. She would rather leave him there and save her body double. And I'll be honest, the body double, like, is infinitely more useless than Kuroto. Because at least Kuroto is a competent commander. I'll give him that. He's a competent commander. And he actually turns around the tide of battle. Like, that guy is the GOAT of the Seven Shining Stars more than anyone else. And that's basically the plot until Norrens just decides to just all of a sudden, out of nowhere, by the way, this is not hinted at anywhere, like, out of nowhere, Norrens just decides to try to end humanity. And that's basically it. This comes out of absolutely nowhere. Like, Norrens, the entire time, has a puppet emperor, and he wants the body double to be an even better puppet emperor, which is why, because his first puppet emperor is a 10-year-old who literally does everything he says, and then he replaces her with the body double, and this body double actually tries to, like, somewhat stop him through legislative power. Like, why did you poison the 10-year-old and place, like, an infinitely worse puppet on the throne? And it's not even like the puppet emperor, like, really matters, because he just decides to end humanity. Like, he didn't need the puppet emperor for anything. He didn't use it for power. He didn't really use it for anything. Like, I don't get what the entire point of the puppet emperor was, other than just to establish Neo Britannia, which is what all he seems to do. He establishes Neo Britannia and just builds a legion of robots. That's all he does. Like, dog, you could have like not gotten the entire heat of the entire world. Because, by the way, outside of Area 11, which they reformed for whatever reason, I don't know why they reestablished Area 11. You could have just had a company. Like, you could have just done that. And not to mention, before this all goes down, he already had his own country. He was the ruler of, by the way. He already had that. Why did he need to go capture Area 11? Was it the Sakuramite mines, maybe? I think that's about it, but he didn't need the Puppet Emperor to, like, really do anything, or this entire convoluted scheme surrounding the Puppet Emperor. Like, all he had to do was just take control of Sakuramite mines. He might even be able to, like, just be a company and just, like, capture the Sakuramite mines or whatnot. It would have gotten, like, the entire world to just not care about him and, like, say it's a regional thing. He could have just captured that and then built his, like, little drones. But I don't know, man. Like, oh yeah, he also rebuilt the Damocles after it got tossed into the sun. Why? I don't know. He didn't even have Lelouch's 2,000 bajillion Flayas. He had 3, which he all wasted on the Damocles for some reason. And then he built the Damocles again for no reason. Like, actually no reason. This motherfucker just wasted resources building two Damocles that had absolutely no purpose whatsoever. Zero. And it didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. And another thing about the show is that they just bullshit a bunch of stuff. Like, they bullshit a bunch of stuff in there for seemingly no reason whatsoever. Like, they'll just have convenient solutions for everything. Like, with zero explanation at all. Like, Sakuya would just randomly get a flying mecha suit, or the ability to get past a Blaze Luminous Blaze Luminous nullifier, which gets completely forgotten about later on. But yeah, she can nullify the Blaze Luminous, but she just forgets about it. They get like an ultra upgraded Damocles thing because they smuggled Nina into the Area 11 zone. By the way, they erected a wall around it, which nothing can pass through, except apparently Nina and a Black Knight's liaison. By the way, what are the Black Knights doing about this? Neo Britannia gets set up on Area 11, and the most that they do is pull the Britain and just issue a diplomatic objection. And that's about it. Like, and keep in mind, Neo Britannia is not like Britannia where they just allow the 11s or Japanese to just coexist beside them. They are legit committing a genocide against them. Like, opening scene of this show just shows one of the highest ranking military members in the Britannian Empire order an entire firing squad on just civilians. And the Black Knights don't do anything about it. They have the ability to get through the wall. They do. They show this with Nina literally entering Area 11. Like, you guys could do this the entire time? Why aren't you sending more? Just get a bunch of submarines to go under. Not to mention, just fly. Because there's nothing out above. It's a wall. You can airdrop. Like, the Britannians do this. Okay, not the Neo-Britannians, the actual Britannians. The Britannians airdrop nightmares into Area 11. That's how they took it over. But there's just a wall that they can't pass through, and unless they go underneath or above, and they just don't do that. Like, the Black Knights, like, what are you guys doing? Lock in! Neo Britannia just got formed. They took over the previous government. Like, why are you just letting these people out to dry? Your entire job is to stop this, and to maintain the world peace that Lelouch died for, even though he's not dead, because this is a direct continuation of Lelouch the Resurrection. It is whatever. Anyway, this actually gets on to me about Lelouch and his portrayal in this. Why did you bother bringing back Lelouch, man? Like, you brought back Lelouch just so that he gave his Geass on over to Sakuya. This is not explored, by the way. Like, why did Lelouch give his Geass to Sakuya? And I'm not even joking, Lelouch's legit answer for this is, I don't know. Like, 90% of the answer of this show is just, I don't know. Like, did the writers even try? Did they try at all in this show? Code Geass is supposed to be a show about deep things and philosophy, and they failed dramatically on all of this front. By the way, this also breaks the rules of the Geass, because each Geass manifests differently inside of people. You don't just give your Geass to someone. Like, Cece's, or C2's entire Geass was making people love her. Charles Britannia's entire Geass was about making people forget memories and rewriting memories. Mao's Geass was about to be able to hear the inner thoughts of literally everyone. Lelouch's Geass was absolute obedience. Her Geass is absolute obedience. That's not how it works. Your Geass manifests differently in different people. So they're just breaking that. And We don't get any context on how she met Lelouch, by the way. Lelouch, who's dead to the entire world, gone off of the face of the map. Nobody knows where he is. Not even Suzaku, his closest friend. Not even Nunnally, his only surviving family member, by the way. How does she come across him? And how does she convince Lelouch to give his Geass on over? No explanation on that. None whatsoever. And this gets even to a weird contradiction because Lelouch and C2 are on a warpath to get rid of pretty much every Geass user who uses it badly. And you know what Sakuya does? She uses it badly to the point where she gets caught. Like, she is so dog shit with her Geass. She legit gets caught by the Neo-Britannian Empire using her Geass. Which... And she's used her Geass throughout the show to get her way. She literally abuses her Geass. It's the exact thing that Lelouch and C2 are trying to stop. Like, I don't know. I've ranted for long enough. Like, in the end, it's summed up best by saying Code Geass, Roze of the Recapture is about as deep as a puddle, and it's absolute dog shit. The animation's good. 4 out of 10.